Good morning. Today we are going to start one new chapter, that is file systems in operating system, or you may say that file management system, or how these files are managed in operating system. As you know that file is nothing but a collection of related items or the collection of related data or information that has to be used for future references. Say in a computer system, whatever the data or information you are processing, the primary job of a computer is to process that data and to give you the output. But to submit some data or information for its processing, you first have to store that data and information somewhere at some location with the help of some device in that your computer system. The normal processing culture of a computer system is that when you have to process any data or information, you have to first load that data or information into its primary memory, and then according to the instructions it has to be processed and it went for the processing. But there is some limitations with this primary memory. Primary memory can store a very little amount of data. It can store those data only that has to be processed in their current state. The second limitation is that it can store only for a temporary period. It cannot store these data or information for a longer period. As soon as you switch off your system, everything gets vaporized. Everything gets vanished from that system. It is simply wiped out. The third limitation is that you cannot use those data and information that is currently being processed and loaded into these primary memories for other programs, for other users. So to solve these problems, as you know that your data and information, the same data and information may be used by the other users also. It may be utilized by other programs also, and if not in a current situation, it may be referred in future. So for future references, for storage in a great amount, for in a huge amount, and for the storage for a longer period, you require some other kinds of mechanism. File management system or the file system in a computer answers all these problems. Normally, when you have to store huge amount of data, or it is to be stored for a longer period, it is stored on some hard disks or on some other kinds of disks. That storage is known as secondary storage or auxiliary storage also. At your hard disks or secondary storages, you can store huge amount of data. Not only that much, you can store it for a longer period, or you may say that for a permanent period. Also, it provides you a kind of a facility that you can utilize the same data or information for your different programs, and it can be utilized by the different users for their different purpose. It can be referred by the different programs simultaneously also. A copy of these data and information may be utilized by the different users or the different programs at the same time. So it gives you another added advantages. Now the question is that these files or these data or informations are when stored on your secondary storage devices. What are the different aspects of all these systems that is maintained with your computers? Now take all these matters one after another. In a file system, you first have to understand that what is the file. That you have started with that definition, that file is nothing but a collection of related items or related data and information that is stored at one place, and it is maintained by this operating system, a part of the operating system or a module of operating system that manages all these file systems or this collection of related items or data at one place in your secondary storage devices or in your auxiliary memories is known as file manager. Say your file management requires various related issues that has to be solved by this file manager. Say in your computer system, whatever is stored, it is stored in the forms of files. Whatever the related data or items that has to be utilized by the computer or the operating system has to be stored somewhere in these files. Your computer stores everything in files. Your computer is full of different kinds of file. Your computer not only stores your data and information, your personal information and the data in these files, but also the computer stores its different functions and programs and subroutines or modules of the operating system in the forms of files itself also. It is stored in the files. So your computer is a huge depository of different kinds of files. Thousands of files are there. Not only your data and information, but even the programs that you have to that you write for different purpose. That is also stored and for future references or for any other uses in the forms of files. So when your computer system has thousands of files or more than the thousands of files, all these files must be arranged and managed in a particular organized systematic order, so that whenever you require the retrieval of these files or to use these files, it do not becomes a chaotic or messy situation to retrieve them and to utilize them. For such arrangement, your file manager implements some of the yardsticks that helps you to recognize your file, to create them, to manage them, to maintain them and to use them for future references. The first important aspect of this all file management system in your computer is of file naming. When you store your related items or data at one place in a file format, you have to name that file. This file naming is of course in a user readable format, so that users may recognize these files very quickly and very easily. So file naming is one of the primary important factor for this all file management system. Say, for a computer system, when you name a particular file, it happens in a particular way. I mean to say that for a computer system, a naming of a file happens to be in two parts. It is a special kind of naming system where you give the names of a file in two parts. Both the part is separated by a dot, or it is also called a period, or it is also called a colon. That both these parts are of different uses or purpose. It identifies a different identity of that file. The first part, which is given before that period or colon, is usually user supplied part. User, who is the owner or the creator of that file or the collector of that items for a file, gives the first part of the name of that file naming. That is due to the benefit of the user, that they may recognize their files very quickly and smoothly. After that user supplied part, that is the first part, that is the user given part of the name of the file, just after that dot or period, the second part is known as the extension of the file. It is usually, for many systems, by default it is usually supplied by the system itself, but there is a flexibility. User can also decide the extension of this file, that what could be the extension of file. See, one thing remember here, that this extension name or the extension that is given after that dot and period tells always something special about that file. When I say that it tells something special, I mean it, that it tells something special. It do not only tells that what kind of this file is, but it also explains you that which application may be used to open this file, or which application is used to create this file, or it may also say that what is the purpose of this file, or what kind of this file is. Say the extensions may be of a unique nature. It may be created in some of the cases by the users also to give us as a different speciality to their files, or to a different identity to their files. So this extension has a wider scope to be used to separate, to give a separate identity to your file, to create their different class also. So this is of greater benefit in this all file management system, that you can name your file in two parts, and these two parts helps you to easily locate your particular file in that huge depository of files in your computer system. The second aspect of this all file management system is that the file attributes. When you create your files, you usually add some attributes to these files also. These attributes are nothing but the different properties that you have added with your files, different files. These attributes not only tells about that the file types, but it can reveal that location of the file that is stored on a particular disk. It can also reveal the information about that who is the owner of the file, the date of creation, the date of last modified, the length of the file, or you may say that size of the file, the maximum size of the file, that can also be added there. Apart from this, different permissions that is given with that file is also detailed there. Sometimes you cannot give all kinds of permission to the users of that file to either to modify them, or to write them, or to append them, or you can limit their permissions. So that could be revealed, that what permission is given with that file in this attribute section. Apart from this, not only there could be many information that is added on in this attribute section. There could be an attribute that may give you that pointer position of that file, that where that is mostly used by the operating system to locate that file and to begin the file from which location and to read from which location that file is. So the second aspect is, after file naming, this is the file attribute that details most of the points about that files. The third fact related with this file management system is the file access. The files could be accessed either sequentially, or it may be accessed the different items or the data that is stored within that file. Either could be accessed randomly, or it could be an indexed one. The fourth aspect with this file systems in operating system is that the different file operations that user can perform upon that. The file operations that could be performed by a user or the creator could be that of file opening, file closing, file appending, file modifications, the set attributes, you can set the attributes, you can get that attributes, the permissions granting. So these operations, file deletion, you can delete a file, you can create a file, file creation. So these different operations can be managed by this file manager when it is creating a file for storage of a related item or data into your file system. Apart from this, in this file management system, you can also try to understand that all these files, when there is a huge amount of files stored in your computer system, it requires a particular systematic approach to locate them and to know them, that all files, that which how much files are there and what type of files are there, who is the creator. In a nutshell, you wish to have that all information so that you may choose a particular file accordingly. So for these, there is a directory system. Nowadays, almost in all computer systems or all systems that is based on a computer's principle has that directory system. Directories are nothing but a kind of a file. It is a special kind of a file that gives you information about that other files. It stores the information about the other files, and almost in every system there is a directory system. Without this directory system, it is very difficult to manage all these different kinds of files that is stored in a huge number in your computers. See, in early days, when the computers were very simple, it was a simple user and simple program operating system. There used to be only one directory, and that directory, that one single directory is known as that root directory. That directory has the information about all other files, and that was very simple to manage and maintain. But now, with the growing complexity with your systems, with your operating systems, with your computers, when you are using your computers in a multiple way for multiple purpose, these directory systems has also gone under a complete metamorphosis. In your root directory, there may be other files also that contains information about that other files. So by such means, nowadays there exists different kinds of directories also. Among them all, we can list that a single directory system is known as that root directory. So there could be a single directory system. There could be a second type of directory, that is a two-level directory system. In that two-level directory system, in your root directory, there could be, if there is a multiple user and multiple processes or jobs that is concurrently and simultaneously using the different resources of your computer system, they can have their own personal directories, and the information about that their personal directories may be again submitted to that root directory. From root directory, you can have the different users, the address of different users directory, and that users may utilize to store their data and information of their personal files or the files that belongs to them only into their personal directories, and this can be implemented by all their other same level users. Apart from this, in a very complex system where it is multitasking, multiprocessing, multi-user system, there could be another type of directory system that is hierarchical, or that is happens to be in a tree shape, or in a that grows in like a forest. So these three kinds of directories or directory systems may exist in your system. That is the root directory, single level directory, and that hierarchical directory system. Today we have given this a broader outlook of all these file systems. In our next class, we will have the detailed discussions. Thank you.